I'm very open, direct, and transparent. That's what I strive to be. I come from Northern California, from a small town, a lot like this one, Walla Walla, and called Elk Grove. And then I went to West Point, graduated in 2004. After that, I was at Fort Lewis for a couple years, deployed to Afghanistan. I was a vertical platoon leader. After Afghanistan, I came back, went to the engineer career course in Missouri. Then I got to go to Europe for a while. I was there for 5-6 years. I did my company command time there with the 18th Engineer Brigade. I also got to experience my first time in the Corps of Engineers in the Europe District. And while I was in the Europe District, I was a project engineer, and I also was part of the Forward Engineer Support Team Advance. I was the commander for that team, and we got to train up in Italy. We got to go to Jordan for 6 months. I also deployed to Iraq when I was in the 18th Engineer Brigade. I came back to the States, went to Washington, D.C., and I was the executive officer for the Deputy Commanding General of Military and International Operations at Headquarters USACE. And then, after a year of that experience, which was great because I got to see all the different types of military programs and international operations that we do in the Corps of Engineers. After that, I became the executive officer for the Deputy Commanding General. And I also got to see a lot of how policy is created and changed and maintained in the Corps of Engineers, decisions behind policy. I went to the 249th Engineer Battalion, loved it. That was a prime power battalion down at Fort Belvoir, Virginia. After that, I spent 1 year at the Department of State, and in the State Department, I worked in the Office of Chinese and Mongolian Affairs. It really opened my mind to what our Department of State folks do. I wanted to go to the National Training Center, and so I got to see brigade engineer battalions come through the National Training Center, and they spend about 2 weeks officially in the box, which is the big desert down at Fort Irwin. So I did that for 2 years and had my first baby, also got married, and moved out to Portland District. And while I was there, I was the Deputy Commanding Officer for about 9 months, had my second baby. And now I'm here at Walla Walla, and I love it. I believe in communication being a really key aspect. People are first in my priorities. And that means, their safety, empowering them, keeping communication open is something I value in leadership. And I would want, supervisors and other folks to empower their subordinates, trust in subordinates. We've, given them their duties because I fully trust and believe in what they do. I also want to be a servant leader, meaning I'm here for you. I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. You know how to do your job better than I know how to do your job. I'm here to help you. What can I do to resource you? What can I do to make your work environment a place you want to come to every day, a place that you get up in the morning and say, yes, I get to go to work today. This is where I want to stay. I want you to be here. I want people to come to the Corps, and I want people to come to Walla Walla and want to be here. I think that Walla Walla is one of the leaders in this region and potentially the enterprise for innovative improvements for the Corps of Engineers. I think a lot of the work that we're doing here that I've seen so far and the ideas that are coming out of this district can really lead to change in the way we do things, in our systems and processes in a good way. So I really think that we can and potentially are already leaders in innovation, which is, as you know, the Chief of Engineer's fourth priority. The mission Walla Walla has is influential and so important to this part of the country and to USACE as a whole. As the second largest producers of hydropower in the Corps of Engineers, we produce enough to power a city the size of Seattle every day. I think that safety is one of my priorities, and ensuring folks throughout Walla Walla District have embodied the culture of safety, because that's how you take care of people. You keep them safe in order to perform their mission. I want to get to know the people of Walla Walla District. It's important to me. I want to know what they do in their job and the impacts that they have to the district, because everyone's important in everything they do. So if you see me, just come up to me and talk to me. I'd love that, you know? It's not often you're gonna find a battalion commander who is a mother of young children. And it's not often you're gonna find even just a battalion commander who's a parent of young children. At this age, most of my peers have kids in high school, kids who don't demand the attention a toddler and a 6-month-old demands. But I'm balancing that. It's a challenge, but I'm definitely balancing that between my duties and love of being a battalion commander, a district commander, and my absolute love and joy of being a mom. The importance that I feel, like being here as the commander, feel honored to be selected as the commander of Walla Walla District, who I feel has a lot of influence and importance when it comes to the USACE mission as a whole. I love this part of the country. The Pacific Northwest is beautiful. I've always wanted to come back here after my first duty station at Joint Base Lewis McChord. I love the trees and the mountains, the fields of wheat. It's all so beautiful to me. Walla Walla is keeping the lights on, the grain moving, the fish swimming, and the people safe.